That's good. I've never traded equity before, but coming into this morning, I like to set up on this chart that just IPO, which is Webull. I'm very interested to see what this does. See if we can break over this 42. If we can break over that 42, I'll long a few shares. Um, if not, if we just reject, then I'm just not gonna trade it, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what the charts can do today. Watching over that 42 though, for sure. Everything else though on the damn cool one. We got Powell speaking later, so I'm not gonna take no trades on that, but we both can get over this 42. I'll play some longs on it. It's my first time trading equity, so I want to see how this go. Currently in 100 shares on Webull. My stop loss is underneath this 40 level. When we break underneath 40, I get out. I'm just on my stop on this stock, right here underneath this 40 or right at 40. If we pull back into 40, then I'll get out of the trade. But I'll remain in this position. I have 100 shares on Webull, so I'm gonna see if this can hold at least pre-market highs. This is area demand, so if we do pull back into the zone, pull back into the nine, I'm okay with comfortable with holding. But currently have about uh 4,200 in this trade. I had a very nice squeeze earlier in the week, so if we do get that momentum back to the upside, I obviously want to look to be a part of it or whatever. But we're gonna see what that do. If I lose on this trade, I lose $200. If it goes in my direction, then it would be nice to see it squeeze again, back up in like maybe 50 or something. Pulling back into VWAP, pulling back into 99 right now. We can hold this zone. I'll add more shares. Nice pullback into demand on it. My average on it is 43.30 or 42.30. So as you can see right here, I enter long on 100 shares right here. So pull back into this demand. I would like to see us hold this ideally and then look to play for a squeeze. I might add into it if we can flip back over this demand and push back over that 42. I'm going to play for that downtrend break on this 5 minute. Play for a squeeze to the upside. See, currently we are creating higher lows and lower highs. So it would be nice to see the squeeze. Because the stock just IPO'd, it doesn't have options. So that's why I'm resorting to trading shares at this moment. And the reason I'm playing it is a downtrend break on a higher time frame. I'm just looking for a nice little squeeze to the upside. Nice hold of this demand on a higher time frame. We're getting a squeeze on this chart. It's 5 minute. I'm about to might long a few more shares right here. Need to see us ideally break out of this to the upside. We should get this squeeze within the next 5 minutes. So I'm gonna move my stop because I really don't want to see price break this trend to the downside. And a total of 300 shares at the moment. Move my stop up on this though. So at this point, I want to see a squeeze, right? Um, I like what I see on the higher time frame. My stop on this has to be underneath this level right here, though. But my stop is currently underneath this 4157 and a total of 300 shares. We're gonna see if we can get a nice squeeze. If not, then I'll just stop out. But I really want to see us maintain over this level. I want to see this chart squeeze a little bit. I like the fact that we held this 40 demand. I currently like the fact that we're over this 42. This 42 level or 4150 level comes from the higher time frame. This 4 hour chart, we had this previous demand back here. So I like the fact that we were able to flip over. I like the fact we were able to pull back into it and hold it. Now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this continuation, ideally on this downtrend break of this 5 minute chart. Again, in a total of 300 shares. So my stop is literally underneath this 9M VWAP. So we pull back underneath that, then I'll get stopped. But I want to see us break ideally out of this pennant that we're forming on this 5 minute and just squeeze to the upside. If we can get the symmetrical triangle break on this 5, I'm really good for the day. I'm not gonna lie. Currently holding VWAP, holding a 9 EMA, which is great. Holding above at 42, 4150, which is also good. Holding this demand on a higher time frame, which is also good. Downtrend break on a higher time frame, which is also good. Just looking for us to get this squeeze right here. I'm not adding no more to this. If we can break this to the upside, I'm really good on the day. I could really see this pushing up back into 50, which is ideally where I want to see it push back into. We push back into that 50 area. Should be a smooth move for real. That's about 2,400. And if we could really squeeze on it, that would be even better. We push up into like 55, 60. That would be great. We just need to break this down from this 5 minute, then we're gonna get that squeeze to the upside. Let's see us just rip. So we currently getting that squeeze. I'm currently up about 1,200 on this trade. I'm moving my stop on this to break even, and then I'll just stay in this trade all day, honestly. See if we could just squeeze. My take profit on this is $50, so I want to see a squeeze ideally up into 50. Cut a majority of my position off as we got this squeeze to the upside. I really was targeting this 50, so I'm gonna stay in these remaining shares until we get to 50, honestly. But it's a good little scalp for being my first equity trade. Currently up 900 right now. So if we get a higher push, my stop is at break even on these. So even if price was to pull back and stop me out, I'm not gonna take a loss on this trade on these remaining shares that I have. So it's a nice squeeze. I wanted to see us ideally push up into 50, but I'm cool with taking whatever I get from it. Just closed out of my last share right here, but it was a really nice trade. Really nice squeeze on the chart.